Hi there, it's Dr. Saira, and you are tuning in to Ask Dr. Saira, my video series where I answer the questions that you, my fans, viewers, clients, and friends have sent in. And so we're going to just dive right in with our question of the day. And here's the question. So this question is from Fatima. And Fatima says, "Hey Dr. Saira, congratulations on the launch of your new YouTube segment, Ask Dr. Saira. Here's my question. There was a time when I believed more strongly in goodness and happy endings. I saw the good most of the time, and I had a more optimistic way of viewing people and life. I noticed a comment you made on Facebook, which I've attached." So here's the comment. I'll read you the comment. So basically the comment was, there's a picture of somebody in a delivery room. She was about to have a baby, and like her whole family sitting around her, standing around her, and they all look like exhausted, and she looks exhausted. But I noticed that there was like this beam of light, like right on the woman's tummy. And so my comment on Facebook was, "That light shining down on her is incredible." And so Fatima asks, "I noticed a comment you made on Facebook, which I've attached. How can I see the world in pictures or news stories through that type of approach?" And so I really like this question because it speaks to that fundamental difference between being an optimist and being a pessimist, or being somebody who tends to see the glass as half full versus the person who's always kind of looking for the challenge or the problem. Now, some of us are just naturally the problem finders. For example, I'm married to a problem finder. He's the one who, when I have a good idea or a new project I'm starting, he's the one who says, "Well, have you thought about this? And have you thought about this? And have you thought about this? And have you thought about this?" And there's actually quite a lot of really important jobs for people like that. Like, we need those people to build our bridges, and we need those people to create our infrastructure, and we need those people to run, our governments, and those are the people who create the checks and the balances, and they're the risk assessment, risk management people. But for the rest of us who are just kind of, scrolling through social media on a random Tuesday, it would be nice to be a little bit more of an optimist. Because sometimes what happens is for example, Fatima was saying, maybe she's reading through these Facebook posts and she's having some other thoughts. She's not having those happy, optimistic thoughts that she used to have. And so, how does she get those optimistic thoughts again? So one of the ways, Fatima, that you can do that is to actually create a practice, a regular practice in your life where you're being appreciative or grateful for the normal, everyday, random things in your life. So an example could be, first thing in the morning, before you do anything else, sitting up and saying, "I'm so glad I have this bed to sleep in or to wake up in." Or, you're brushing your teeth and you think, "Oh, I like the flavor of this toothpaste." It can be very simple. And so what that does is it starts changing the way you think to have you start looking for the things that are working rather than the things that are difficult. And, when people have, ongoing situations in their life, they could be, relationship issues or health issues or, some sort of financial trouble. It's very easy to get consumed in the problem and forget that there's all these other really good things going on. So an example of that from my own life is last summer in August, my husband and I were going through this financial situation where we were really stretched financially. We felt like we weren't going to be able to make ends meet, and we were just in a really bad space. And all we talked about and all we thought about was how broke we were. And it was really, really difficult, and it was really upsetting. And then I went away for a week to visit my family in another city. And while I was there, I just hung out with friends. I wasn't really doing much. I wasn't spending a lot of money, but my tank was getting filled, right? And I was remembering who I was when I wasn't worried about money. And so just for a week or two, I was in a different headspace. And what that allowed for me was a space for me to think about something else and allow new ideas to come and hear people's suggestions in a new way. Because when you're in the problem mode, even when people are offering you solutions, you don't hear them because you're just justifying the problem space that you're in, right? And so doing this ongoing practice of gratitude and appreciation will help you to start changing your headspace so that you're more open to some of those new ideas that are coming in. And so when you look at that, that picture of the exhausted family around this laboring woman in the room, you don't comment on or even notice the exhaustion. What you're noticing is the sweetness in that picture. And so that would be my advice to you, Fatima, as far as how to shift back to that optimism, is to find a daily practice or institute a daily practice of little tiny things that you're grateful for. And you can write it down in a journal. You can speak it into your phone. You can tell someone about it. You can post it on Facebook. whatever it is. And so there's my timer. It means my time is up. But thank you for tuning in, and check me out next time on Ask Dr. Saira. Take care.